can this dead strategy in Bloons TD6 finally come back? And the strategy I'm talking about is the millipede snipers, the elite snipers in combination with a bunch of bouncing bullets. Now, there have been a couple of changes happening to these snipers, so I wanted to go over these changes and I wanted to kind of contextualize you guys, if you're not paying attention to what's happening to the snipers, just how good of a strategy this used to be. I mean, this was basically the meta at a certain point, and after a lot of nerfs, Ninja Kiwi just made sure that, well, this thing is basically a lot weaker than it used to be, let's just put it like that. So essentially they started nerfing every aspect of the tier 3, the bouncing bullet snipers. They reduced the bounce distance, they reduced the shrapnel pierce, they reduced the bullet pierce, and eventually they realized, okay, we might have over nerfed this thing, so in the next couple of updates they reduced the price of it. It went from 3.2 to 2.1k actually, so that's about 33% less. And there was also a side nerf happening, which is a nerf to Geraldo actually, which the sharpening stone stopped giving +1 damage and +1 pierce, and now it's just +2 pierce for the upgraded version. So this was a very hard nerf for this strategy overall. I think there was also a price nerf for the tier 5, the elite sniper. They made it a little bit more expensive, so things were definitely not looking up for this strategy. Now here's what's happening in the latest update. They're trying to kind of bring it back, and the way that they're trying to do it is by giving the supply drop a little bit of extra bounce pierce, and it goes from 4 to 5, so that's good because this also transfers to the tier 5, the elite sniper. And then they also, talking about the elite sniper, they made it a little bit cheaper. The price is now about $500 less. So can we make this strategy work somehow again? Now I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this strategy, if it doesn't work, then it's probably not gonna work on some of the more difficult maps, because I feel like the longer the map is, like, you can pretty much beat those maps with anything that you want. So the strategy is still gonna work there for sure, especially on the beginner ones. But I wanted to play on a little bit of a shorter map actually and see how this thing is gonna be working out. So you know what, I'm gonna buy a kind of a weird type. Do we go for the bionic boomer? Do we go for the shrapnel? Let's actually start things off with the shrapnel. So essentially the basis of the strategy is you buy a bouncy bullet sniper, you buy the elite sniper, which is gonna give you attack speed buff to everyone else, and then you're trying to spam snipers. You don't want to buy too many, but like I usually, you know, I think 2 or maybe even 3 is fine, so that's what we're gonna be going for. And now let's go like this. Let me get the monkey business, the monkey commerce. I want to get to 1 more village. We're gonna agree that we want to get 2 discount villages for today, and I think after that we're just gonna have to go for the first bouncing bullet. So the current price is 1.9k. We want to get this down a little bit further if possible. And before starting this video, I actually tried the placement of these snipers on sandbox, and you can fit 4 snipers in like this little staircase up top. Oh, wait a minute, how are we doing? 31. Oh no, we're leaking on this one. All right, so let's try it like this. Let's just put glue here, just kind of slow everyone down for a second, make the shrapnel go to town because it's going to be setting everyone up, so the shrapnel is going to be doing a lot of damage. All right, so look at the price in the bouncing bullet now, 1.8k, exactly what you want to see, but we're on round 35. So yeah, we're gonna need the bouncing bullet like ASAP. We have the rainbows and then huge waves of pinks on the next one, so this is probably the last round in which we can afford to do this. Oh, wait a minute, no. Alright, so this cheapskate defense has only gotten us so far. We need to either, I don't know, just trying to kind of plug some holes into the setup just so we can hold off until 1.8k, or I don't know, guys. Let's start it off like this. Let's try and drop a glue. Let's see if this is gonna help a little bit. I mean, we can beat these guys at rainbows for sure. We're gonna have a lot of black balloons now, and I guess it's just the goal is 1.8k. Even then, I don't know. Like, we're probably gonna get this. Yeah, there we go. Now, is this gonna be enough for the pinks? And with the help of the glue, it is. Let's watch the second and the third wave. I think we're fine, guys. Yeah, I think we stabilized. Have we get the bouncing bullets? Like, you're kind of in the clear versus small balloons, I think. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's do a couple of things. First off, let's get a little bit of the strategy going with the sharpening stone. So +1 pierce, that's absolutely fine. Let's also get an alchemist. The alchemist is gonna be, look at this thing, how beautiful it looks. Under 2 discounts. This just makes me so happy, actually. So let me try and have the other sniper like this. It's gonna be in the range of the alchemist, which is not exactly necessary. But let's have it like this, and let's see if we can afford. Yes, we can afford. Look at this thing, 2.1k for the daily precision. That's crazy. We're also gonna need to drop a glue, so let's have the glue like this towards the end so we stop these ceramics. And I feel like the bouncing bullet is gonna be, oh my god, it's close. Do we handle all these guys? Yes, we do. There we go. And that's the beautiful part of this strategy, guys. Once you get to this point, you have a little bit of extra damage versus big balloons. You can clear out the small balloons, no issue, and you have an alchemist, so this is pretty much the green line for you to go for the supply drop in the elite sniper. So I'm gonna start things off like this, 3-0 on the alchemist, because we have some ceramics incoming. A lot of small balloons as well, so this is going to help out a lot with the cleanup. And here's how we want to do things. We're going to go for the shrapnel actually onto this sniper. The reason why you want to go for the shrapnel is you're going for the 420, the main Moab, and the shrapnel is going to be stunning a couple of balloons, a couple of Moab class balloons at once, because the shrapnels do stun as well, right? So basically, because these millipede snipers really suck versus Moab class balloons, another sniper is essentially helping them in dealing with those guys. So I'm actually going to go for the main Moab, even though we have the money for the supply drop. And honestly, if we went for the supply drop, I don't think it would have been like too big of a deal. But in the 50s, we're going to have the money for everything. So let's start off with the supply drop. Now, this is the guy that actually got buffed. So this one has +1 pierce in the bullet. And let's actually make sure we give it a sharpening stone as well, because the previous one expired. And now this guy is going to go ham versus the small balloons, I think. Yep, this is absolutely perfect. So this is exactly how the setup is supposed to work. You guys see the Moab being stunned at the back, and there's another one behind it. So everyone is being kept in place, and then the supply drop clears out the small balloons. So this is just perfect. I mean, it's not like the strategy doesn't work, but it's a lot weaker than it used to be. At least it's a lot cheaper, so it kind of, I guess, the power matches the price a little bit more nowadays. Alright, so 57, let's go like this. We finally get the money for the elite sniper, so it's kind of fast, honestly. It's 15k, so this is the cheaper elite sniper by a little bit. And for a tower of its caliber, I mean, we have so many other buffs to give it, and especially when the sharpening stone gets upgraded again, it's +1 pierce, so it goes out to be like +2 pierce, so not as good as it used to be for sure. We're gonna be facing around 63 in a second, and if you guys are not seeing any balloons, it's because the elite sniper is kind of OP at this stage of the game, like the mid game, right? It's also giving a little bit of extra attack speed to this guy, to the main Moab. Oh, 63, how are we doing? Okay, that was really quick. Do we have a sharpening stone? We don't. Let's give this guy a sharpening stone. That was wave number 1, by the way. So this plus new bullet pierce plus the sharpening stone. Let's see how it's gonna do on the second one. The first one, I'm gonna be honest, it disappeared kind of fast, and the second one is even faster than that one for sure. All right. Okay, so let's go for the other snipers now. I think we want to place 2 more of these snipers, and then I think we're just gonna go into the couple of spikes, which is just the way that I used to like doing this strategy. So go like this, get the second bouncing bullet. If everything's correctly placed, we should be able to fit. Yes, there we go. Under the range of 2 discounts. That is absolutely amazing. Stop at the bouncing bullet though. No need to be getting the supply drop. Alright, so around 75. This is usually a problem, but it's not gonna be in this one. And I guess I can talk to you guys about what I've been thinking recently about BTD6, and is that we need some new content. We need a new update. There's gonna be a new tower, by the way, coming in the next update. And I think the release date, even though there's like no official release date for Ninja Kiwi yet, I think it's gonna be somewhere around this time, like kind of soonish, I want to say. So very, very excited about that update. The new monkey is gonna be called the Desperado monkey, and apparently they were supposed to come out with like the second DLC, if I'm not mistaken, but they plan on releasing the monkey first, the new tower first, and then they're gonna do the DLC in the next update. So very, very excited to see how that thing works out, because we are in desperate need of some new content in BT6. We can also do a little bit of Rogue Legends, but I think we're gonna chill until I find... I'm gonna play, you know, just kind of privately and off camera, and I'm gonna try and find the one monkey army artifact. If you guys are playing Rogue Legends and you know what that thing is, that's basically the artifact in which you can just place now like one single hero and apparently solo the entire entire DLC. And I wanted to try that one out for like so long, but it's a legendary one, and it's just so difficult to find. So that's what I'm gonna try and do off camera. Let's go like this. Let's go for the carpet of spikes. Let's start things off with the spike storm. Actually, yeah, the ZMG is barely moving, so let's start it off like this. Let me use the ability so we at least get the popping a little bit faster, because we really suck versus Moab class balloons. And then here we go, free play. This is a really important aspect of just kind of get the gauge on how good the snipers are, because they need to be holding these super ceramics and the small balloons like the Moab class balloons. We also do get the upgraded sharpening stone. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna place the sharpening stone on all 3 of our snipers, and then during the 90s, I think we're gonna get Gerald up to level 20, so we're gonna refare the shop. So I think it's gonna work out fine. But yeah, this is basically the strategy, guys. This is like the corner here that we have at the bottom. This is exactly the sniper strategy. So how is it gonna be working? I don't know. I mean, oh my god, no way. Yeah, unless the shrapnel is like owning these balloons and is bouncing between a couple of balloons, if these guys' single target damage sucks. Yup, that was really ridiculous. And you know what? We might, so we're replaying the exact same route to look at this thing. We beat it this time. It was just some shrapnel RNG, I'm pretty sure that has the win. That's ridiculous how this thing works. Yeah, we're gonna need some tower to slow these guys down, actually. So maybe either like a glue here in this spot in the middle. That's actually not even gonna be a bad idea. Let's drop a glue, and you know what we can do? We can actually go for the 2-4-0 glue. The reason why I'm going for this one is because if you go for the top crosspass starting from this update, you get +3 bonus damage instead of +2, and that's gonna be nice with all these extra pierce right onto the snipers, with all these shrapnels flying around. I feel like +1 damage, or I should say +3 damage in total, is gonna go a long way. I know the slowdown is not gonna be as big, but I think it's gonna be like just fine. So this is round 84. This guy is still on strong, so he's holding the big balloons. But yeah, these blue mobs, they're gonna have to pass through, and this is where the shrapnel needs to go down, and it actually is. It's doing a decent job, I think. Now, alright, I mean, 84 kind of dealt with no issues, I want to say, even though this is like the early 80s, so this is not a gauge on how good the setup is or the strategy is. Alright, so around 89, we have some 45 balloons incoming, and we do have the money for a carpet of spikes, but I was thinking let's wait just a second to see how far these snipers can go, and then we can buy it whenever necessary. But it's probably gonna be like in the mid-90s if I had to guess. Let's use the glue strike ability for the first time, actually. Let's go like this, just glue all of these guys, get a little bit of extra damage going, and this is a fast ability, so maybe we're gonna get the cooldown. Oh no, we don't actually get the cooldown for round 90. Okay, that's fine. So thankfully we can just use the ability, the spike storm, for these DDTs around 90, but ideally I think we want to get the glue storm as well, because it's a nice combo with the spikes as well. They also get their damage amplified by a lot. So let's start things off like this. Let's use the glue storm on this one. There's a lot of BFVs, by the way. A good thing is that they're not fortified, but it's still a lot of them, so this is going to be a great test for the shrapnels. They still have the sharpening stone. One last round. Oh, this is getting close. Look at this thing towards the end. No, we're gonna leave. Let's try the same thing again, but let's try and get a couple of glue abilities off. So start things off with a glue ability immediately, which is gonna, I guess, impact the BFBs at the back. Let's see how much of a difference this is gonna make. I mean, they are getting glued. We're getting our ability in a second, and hopefully this is gonna do something. I mean, it's definitely looking a lot better than last time. Wait, did the extra damage actually help us? Yes, it actually did help us win the round. That's crazy. All right, so we get the Geraldo level 20. We get the new sharpening stones. So let's give it to all of these guys, which is gonna stay here, by the way, until the end. And somehow, some way, round 92, these snipers are still chugging along on a somewhat shorter map, I want to say, with the help of the spike storm. It has like 14.6k pops, but these have all been crucial pops. So let's go like this. Let's use the glue ability. It's only a glue strike, by the way. And look at this thing. This guy is holding the ZMGs until we deal with the fortified mobs, and then we transfer our attention to the ZMGs now, and the shrapnels, the bullets just keep bouncing between each other. But I think we're actually going to lose to these guys. I think this is going to be a little bit too much balloons for our snipers, and I think that's going to be the time for us to buy the carpet of spikes. We do have a spike storm. Do we use it? This is getting close. Oh my god, are they actually going to defend? I can't believe this. They actually defended. That's ridiculous. Alright, the snipers keep chugging along. You know what? For these ETs, let's try and use the glue strike on them so that we de-lead them, and they're actually going to pop all of them. That's crazy. Yes, this strategy is still somehow chugging along, which I guess makes you think how good this was before the nerfs, by the way. Yeah, it was a lot better than this. So 60k ready to go. Let's get the glue storm now. We still have the money, by the way, for the carpet of spikes, but let's get the glue storm because we're gonna have some DDTs on 95. Let's actually use the spike storm so we pop some of these ZMGs, and then let's use the glue storm. Let's help out our snipers. I really want to survive this round by only using the snipers, because I want to use the snipers only for 95, and it's looking very good. There we go. Alright, so this is it, guys. After this round, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna have to buy the carpet of spikes, but I wanted to buy the glue storm for this specific reason. Let's see how we're gonna do just by only using the snipers and the new glue storm, the 250 glue storm with +3 damage on 95. And so far, it's looking amazing. Are they actually gonna beat the whole thing by themselves? They are. Oh my god, they defeated the entire round. Yeah, these guys are crazy. I had not used this strategy for a very long time, and I'd forgotten how good this thing is, and this just brings memories, because this strategy was good like 15 updates or something like that. It was a very long time ago, and just to see it like kind of somewhat working still, I'm absolutely gonna take it. You know what, I think this might be the last round for it. I keep saying that, like I think I said that for like 92 or something like that, and it's still not the last round, and we're on 96. And are they actually gonna beat it? Yes, they are. Here comes the big one, guys, with the carpet of spikes this time around, because we're definitely not gonna beat it. And let's combo everything. So let's start things off with the glue storm. We're gonna get a passive ability right on time, and I'm gonna do an active ability ability as well while this glue storm is just going at it. And with the help of these snipers, are we cleaning everything out? I think we are. I think that the biggest challenge that we have on this one are going to be the fortified balloons as usual. But once we've dealt with the fortified balloons, if we deal with them in like a timely manner, we should be fine. And everyone is in the middle now. Okay, this might be problematic even with the carpet of spikes actually now that I'm looking at this. We can buy a couple of support towers as well. So this is, oh, look at this. Look at how big of a problem 98 becomes just like that. All right, so one other thing that we could do is buy a little bit more support towers. So like the relentless glue. I know this is like not the best spot, but let's just have it like this. Slow the balloons a little bit at the start, I guess. Let's do the same thing. So glue storm ability, we get the passive. Let's get the active ability. And now let's see these slows and I guess a little bit of stuns if they're going to do something. We're going to be popping a lot of small balloons with the shrapnel. So maybe we're going to get some good relentless stuns going. How is this looking in comparison to last time? This is looking a little bit better for sure, right? We get another glue storm ability. So let's just dump it so we get the extra damage immediately as soon as possible. And then with the new carpet of spikes with the passive ability, I think we do have it. Yeah, this was basically all it took, just like a single glue. Now I'm telling you guys, the most important thing in 86 are support towers actually and nothing else. And we got the passive ability for 99, which is going to clear out all the 45 DDTs. There it is, guys. There is the old strategy, which actually does work. Does still work on like these easier maps for sure. And it's super fun to pull off. So yeah, oh, and that's so fitting. We get a 023 sniper. There is, the strategy can still be made to work. And I really hope that you guys try it out as well, because this is super fun and honestly kind of easy to pull off as well. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.